Listen, things change. Trends come and go. We change as people. And so that means sometimes our opinions on certain makeup products or techniques may change as well. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, my name is Rachel. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Today I'm going to talk about makeup that I changed my mind about. I have 5 that I've changed my mind about for the better. Things or techniques that I didn't like before that now I really enjoy. And then on the flip side, I have 5 things that I've changed my mind about for the worse. Things, products, techniques, whatever that I used to love that I absolutely do not ever want to use again. And while I'm going through these things, I want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if you agree with me or give me some things that you've changed your mind about. I would love to know. This is all in good fun. This is just my own opinion. So if I say something that I do not like that you enjoy still, more power to you. I want you to enjoy doing your makeup how you do your makeup. We don't have to do our makeup the same way to have a good time. Do you know what I'm saying? I want you to do your makeup for you. I'm gonna flip back and forth, one for the worse, one for the better, one for the worse, just so it's not so much negativity at once. First off, I'm gonna start with one product that used to be my holy grail. My holy grail. I actually remember on my channel, in the beginning of my channel, even saying I don't think I'll ever use another concealer. I don't think I'll ever find another concealer as good as Tarte Shape Tape. I was living, breathing, dying for Tarte Shape Tape. It had a chokehold on me for many years and really only up until pretty darn recently. Something about me you should know is that I have very, very dark under eyes. Always have, probably always will, and Tarte Shape Tape is a very full coverage concealer. It also is extremely mattifying. When it dries down, it is not going anywhere, and I did like that aspect about it because I do have crinkly under eyes, and Tarte Shape Tape is one of the most crease-resistant concealers that I've personally tried. But I will say, I think so many concealers have launched in the past couple of years that are just as good and better than Tarte Shape Tape, in my opinion. Some of my favorites are the Essence Keep Me Covered concealers, which of course are way more affordable than Tarte Shape Tape, and they don't look as heavy or drying under my eyes as Tarte Shape Tape does. I also really like the Natasha Denona concealer. I am wearing that under my eyes today, and there are just more concealers that I've found that are better. They look less heavy, they look less cakey under the eyes, and still give me really good coverage. So that is one that I definitely changed my mind about, and that's more just better things have come out since that launched. One thing that I feel like I really didn't understand the hype at first when I first bought this product, but the more that I use it, the more I've really learned to love it. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Pressed Powder. I have mine in the shade Fair. I think when I first got this, I was using it in a way that just isn't the best way. I was using this more to set my under eyes, and for me, it doesn't really do the best job of setting the under eye. It's not potent enough. Is that the right word that I'm trying to get? I really truly feel like this is, as the name says, it's a beautiful finishing powder. I usually like to take a brush after I've set my face and I just kind of dust it in my T-zone area under my eyes just to create an airbrushed effect, a little bit of a smoothing effect. It's not really enough to set down my concealer or foundation just because I have very oily skin. I need something that's a little bit more mattifying, but this is really nice for a finishing powder, and this actually would be nice for you if you don't like to set your products, but you want them to set down without looking powdery or cakey. This would be a really good one for you, but I absolutely love this. At first, I didn't get the hype, but I think it was just the technique I was using. Okay, another thing that I definitely changed my mind about that was another one of my holy grail products for many years is the House of Lash's Lash Glue. So basically, the short story is I was having really bad irritation in my eyes, days that I would wear makeup. The next day I would wake up and my eyes would be just extremely inflamed, red, puffy. And I went to a doctor and they told me, well, it's probably something that you're wearing on your eyes. You have to do it through the process of elimination. And I was thinking, lady, I don't think you understand how many makeup products I have. But eventually, after many months, it pointed to the House of Lash's lash glue. Every time I would wear it, I mean, I would have so much pain and I'd be crying, just so frustrated. Like people would be asking me questions like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, I've switched lash glues. I use the Lily Lashes lash glue. That is my lash glue of choice. It really has changed the game for me, and Samantha March was the one that originally recommended it on her channel for sensitive eyes. So House of Lashes lash glue is not for me. I will tell you though, it glues your lashes on. Like if you want to wear the same pair of lashes for 3 days, like sleeping in them, waking up and them still being perfect, House of Lashes glue does it, but they were definitely irritating my eyes, so it's a no-go for me. A makeup product that I have changed my mind for the better, something that I really didn't enjoy, and I think it's just trends, like that's really what it came down to, are sparkly and colorful highlighters. For so many years, I think I was just consuming content and again, trends of people saying like, I just want a champagne, wet looking highlight, which I love that type of highlight still. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but there was always that narrative of like sparkly highlighters are unflattering, they don't look good on the face. And so I kind of just told myself that without ever really trying them. But now I love all highlighters equally. They're all beautiful to me. And I just wanted to share a couple of my favorite like colorful sparkly highlighters. The Unearthly Cosmetics low light highlighters that they've come out with recently are so beautiful. I have mine in the shade Spellbinding, and it is like a pink to orange to white gold multi-chrome highlighter. Absolutely beautiful. And I also think highlighters have come a long way as well, where you can find one that's like very stripy, like very obviously colored, but something like this, it almost blends into your skin, and it's almost like a double take situation where you can't really tell unless I turn my head in a certain way. I'm not wearing this on my face, although I should be, that you can really see the highlight and the color. But this one is a great recommendation for me. Also, the Sugar Drizzle On Top of the Mountain and Beneath the Stars palette. I hope this is still available. This is a beautiful multi-chrome highlighter formula. There's several colors here, and it's the same kind of thing. Like if I look straight on, you can't see a stripe, but when I turn my head, you can really see an absolutely breathtaking shift with very small glitter particles in here. But both of these are beautiful. There are plenty of other ones as well, but that was something that I changed my mind about because I was very much anti-sparkle, anti-colorful highlighter at one time. All right, another thing that, again, I think it's a trend thing that I really have changed my mind about that I'm not really a big fan of anymore is pink setting powders. So I actually have a whole full one of the Huda Beauty Cupcake, which is a bummer because I think I used this maybe only a couple times, but my go-to powder for years was the Patrick Starr and MAC collaboration. I actually bought, this is my second one. I went through an entire one, and this is like their holiday edition. And I have not used this one because I kind of want to keep it for nostalgia. I don't know. And I know loose powders probably don't expire very quickly, but I don't really want a super bright under eye anymore. I did for years. Again, that was the trend. That was the thing to do. And I like a bright under eye sometimes, like if the look calls for it. But I always would have like a very fair concealer under my eyes and put on a pink powder to make it even brighter. And I feel like that actually emphasized my darkness and my texture more because it's a highlight, right? You're bringing it forward. So I don't love the look of a super bright under eye anymore, and a pink powder definitely will do that for you. I don't mind like a peachy pink color corrector underneath my concealer. I actually don't even mind a concealer with a slight pink undertone, but something with a very clearly pink tone to it, like a loose powder, is not my jam anymore. I don't have anything against it, but it's just not the look I'm going for. Since we're halfway through the video, I just want to say, I want to normalize changing your mind. Like, it is totally cool to change your mind because we evolve as people, our tastes change, things we like on ourselves change, and as our skin changes and ages, things that looked good 10 years ago on me don't look good on me now, or let's say I don't like how they look on me now. So if you feel like maybe a creator that you follow that's said they liked something 3 years ago and doesn't like it anymore, or vice versa, said they liked something and doesn't anymore, it doesn't mean they're lying. It just means that maybe their preferences have changed. But I would say, just think about that even for yourself. Sometimes things change and it's okay to try something new. Okay, another big one for me that it's kind of just a general thing, but definitely something that I was never into before, but now I don't leave my house without putting sunscreen on my face. And in fact, I even wear sunscreen when I don't plan on really leaving the house. I mean, I pretty much leave my house every day at some point, but even if I don't feel like I'm spending time outside very long, I definitely always put a sunscreen on my face. I do live in Florida, so I even feel like when I go from my apartment to my car to the store, back and forth, I do feel the sun on my skin. Like it's hitting the skin, and I'm trying to preserve this. And I'm trying to prevent skin cancer and sunspots on my face. And for many years, I mean, I grew up in the early 2000s, late 90s as a teenager. So I was going to the tanning salon all the time, going outside in the sun, baking in the sun, putting tanning lotion on my face like accelerant. And I've definitely changed my mind on that as I've gotten older and as culture has changed, that it is more accepted to wear sunscreen. It was just never a thing when I was growing up as a teenager. So definitely, if you don't wear sunscreen, I would suggest trying to find one that works for you. There's so many out there. The one that I love is the Bliss Blockstar Invisible Daily Sunscreen. I did mention that recently in a video where I feel like it is the perfect sunscreen for oily skin. It's not greasy. It has a slight tint to it, but when I work it into my skin, the tint goes away. And I really like that it adds almost like a filter effect, a slight blurring effect, evens my skin tone just a little bit, that I can wear it without makeup, and it also looks good under makeup. But finding a sunscreen that works for you is always key to wanting to wear it. Another thing that I think I've changed my mind about, for the most part, I'm not against this product, but matte liquid lipsticks. For years. Again, I think with trends, I really loved matte liquid lipsticks. I would wear them every single day, no matter what. I would pretty much exclusively wear them. They were the trend, right? Back in 2017, 2016. And now I don't really wear a matte liquid lipstick very often. I'd say I mostly wear it in a situation where I want my lips to last through a really long period of time. Like, I do teach ballroom dancing, so when I go to competition, I do like to wear a matte liquid lipstick because it's not moving through my sweating, through drinking water, and I don't have time to reapply for very much. So in a case like that, I think it's great. Or if I'm wearing a bold color, I do like a matte liquid lipstick so that it doesn't travel across my face and just paint my face all kinds of colors. But other than that, I'm not really a huge fan of matte liquid lipsticks. I did mention that recently in a video, I think a new makeup releases video, and a couple of you commented saying that you still really like matte liquid lipsticks. So I definitely get the appeal. Like, they're really long lasting and you don't have to reapply them and you don't have to worry about them. So I get why people like them, but I just personally, I just don't reach for them as often. One thing that I was very much against, and in fact, I had this product, I decluttered it from my collection, and then I got a free gift with a purchase, so it came back into my collection. And so it was several years later that I tried it again, and now I really, really enjoy it. It is the NARS Laguna bronzer. This bronzer is so unique. I feel like it's almost like a self-tanner, in the sense that the tone of it is very much like my skin when it tans, like almost an olivey color. And the texture of this is very thin. So I love applying this on my face when I'm not wearing base products, when I'm not wearing foundation. It really just sinks into my skin super easily. And this really only works for me in the summertime. It is a little deep for me in like the fall and winter, but in the summertime when I have a little bit of a tan with this olive undertone, the texture of it being thin, it has a slight glow to it without being like sparkly. It is just a really nice bronzer, and you also really can't overdo it. It is really pressed very hard into the pan, and like I said, it's quite a thin formula. It's not powdery, so I really can like shove my brush in there and really go at it on my face. And I really don't feel like it looks over the top. So if you like that, what I just described, I think you would really like this. And I have a mini, and this is gonna last me forever. Like, I don't think there's a need to go out and buy a full size unless you're gonna use it every day. But I've definitely changed my mind about this one. My last product that I've changed my mind about for the worse, it used to be a staple for me. I feel like a broken record. But for years, I exclusively wore waterproof mascara. And I remember like my whole technique was crazy to me. This was, back in my early 20s, quite a while ago. I would take my lash curler and I would take my hair dryer and I would heat up my lash curler with my hair dryer till it was hot. Then I would go in and curl my lashes. Now my lashes grow straight down. So I get where my logic's coming from. Like I needed my lashes to stand up, and that was kind of the only way it was gonna happen. And then I would put on, honestly, this mascara in particular was my go-to, which is the Maybelline The Falsies waterproof mascara. This is the brown one, but I would wear the black one. And I would just put on a ton of coats. And let me tell you, my lashes, they stayed frozen all day straight up. And I remember a couple times, like looking at pictures of myself, my lashes would be literally at an angle. Like they wouldn't be curled, they'd be like, whoosh. It was a look. All that to say, I really don't love waterproof mascara. The only reason I have this one is because I bought it for my wedding because I figured I'd be crying. So in that case, I'll wear it and I'll put on literally the least amount that I need possible just to coat my lashes, because putting on like 5 layers of waterproof mascara, I remember scrubbing my eyes back then, scrubbing my eyes to get the mascara off. It is so hard to remove. No. So it's not a go-to for me anymore. And then the last product I want to talk about, which is a product I've changed my mind for the better. I did recently talk about this in a video, but I wanted to mention it again. The Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. When I first tried this, my skin was oily, but it wasn't as oily or acne prone as it is now. And when I first tried it, I really didn't feel like it did much for me. I thought it was okay. Sometimes with like mattifying, pore filling primers, sometimes I feel like if I apply too much, my foundation on top sits weird. Like you can actually see where the primer is, and it's supposed to be eclipsing the pores, not making them stand out. So I've definitely learned how to use this, so I think my technique has changed. I think my skin has changed. And the way that I really love to use this is as a targeted primer where I have breakouts. Because I have a lot of foundations that when I wear them, within minutes of applying them, I can feel the oils going into my pores, and my skin starts to break out. And I can actually feel, like when you have a really bad zit underneath the skin, I can feel it within minutes of applying foundation, my skin forming acne. And this actually creates a barrier between my foundation and my skin, and it absorbs oil in both directions. This is what I think. This is how I feel like it works. Do I have the data to back it up? Only just what I feel. And I don't know that it'll work for you specifically, but this has helped me immensely. Like I definitely feel a difference putting this on the targeted areas of my face where I get breakouts on my chin, on my cheeks, and it definitely helps out my pain and it helps out my oil control as well. All right, and that is it for this makeup I changed my mind about video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, please let me know down in the comments some of the makeup that you've tried in the past that you've either loved before and don't like now, or that you didn't really like at first, but you like now, and let me know why that is. As always, I will put links down in the description box below, as well as everything that's on my face right now. And yeah, that's it. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.